funny.
cat.
Yeah, yo, you got cat issues and things of that nature. And
I don't know if issues is the word for it. She's just crazy.
no, but that's the thing. When you say you don't know if issues is the word, Trent, if your cat is aggressively attacking you at unwanted times, that's kind of an issue. I mean, it might not be viewed as like a big issue, like, yo, I got to get rid of this thing, but nah, bro, you can get hit in the eye, and then it's
So
a
there's
problem.
so she was abandoned by like she was abandoned as a cat
Yeah,
and we found her in the dumps. So she has like abandonment issues and stuff like that. And she's very aggressive because she was like the runt of the litter too as well. So
yeah,
she's had
but
a rough upbringing. She's
yeah,
like a
oh yeah,
street kitty that we've basically tried to raise, try and get the meanness out of her a bit.
no,
But she's
and that's
sweet as
good.
fuck. Like I sent you the video this morning of how she is. Like first thing in the morning, I come out, she chills on my chest for like half an hour. Like
And then at a later point in the day, we're beefing. We're beefing.
it's just violence.
That's yo, but that's actually that kind of, I don't know, like that kind of is like a surprise like topic that like it's like we just stumbled on it. Yo, the fact that animals, depending on their situation or upbringing, so to speak, similar, very similar to humans, obviously, can be the most amazing animals versus like just a savage. Doesn't matter who's
Demons.
with them, whatever, and then they just like start wilding. But you could be their owner, and they will still bite you until they draw blood, and you're like, wait a minute, I thought we were teammates or whatever, right? Like, no, but
I thought we were cool.
I thought we were teammates. I thought we was homies. I thought we was, but that's what it is, bro. You out here, like, but the great thing about animals, like, obviously, if they're raised correctly, they display this like unconditional type of love where you're like, you can't even really get that from humans type shit because as like we have the ability to obviously create conditions and then, oh, if she does this, I'm leaving, or if he does that, I'm leaving. Animals are amazing in that regard where they don't fucking care. Like they're once you raise them right, they're unconditional. They're just on like a I just want to be with you slash protect you slash, and then it's like, oh shit, I got a dope ass kitty or a dope dog or whatever.
She's awesome. I love her. She's crazy. She's cute as fuck and she's awesome. But like, yeah, she's a handful at times.
Straight up.
But
Have you
like,
like did you end up getting to like put the like I'm like obviously I'm not too familiar about when you take certain animals off the street, so to speak. So like do you have to like get her cleaned up and get her shots and shit like that?
oh
And,
yeah, she had her shots like a couple weeks ago, like all her shots and all that. She's vaccinated. We're just waiting right now to I think in November we're gonna get her spayed or something like that. So
okay.
she's fixed so she doesn't get prego when she gets out.
I don't know, it makes sense.
And
That makes
but
sense.
and she's also and it's also her breed. She's a calico, so she's crazy as is. So like
Okay.
that's
That's
just who they are.
I'm not super familiar with cats. I'm assuming once one gets a cat, they have to familiarize themselves and try to know the breed and things like that. But me personally, I'm not gonna lie, I don't know the different breeds. So like which ones are crazy versus which ones are calm. I know Siamese and different things, like in that context of them being completely different than other cats as far as
Nope.
appearance and everything. That's different.
That's a
But
big nope for those cats. Thank you very much. I grew up with one of those cats and they hated me. It beefed me from like day one, dude. Like I came home in a fucking like swaddling infant and it fucking hated my guts from that day on.
that's hilarious. So it's like you've always had a battle of the cats, bro. You always been out here just beefing.
It's not so much a beef with her. She just chooses violence. I don't she just chooses just like, no, fuck you. Wow. You know what I mean? Like
I feel you. I feel
she's
you. I
attacking
show
you and
my
whatnot.
That's the
Yeah.
crazy thing about cats. I showed my sister this video yesterday on YouTube or whatever. Like this little dog was like sitting on the edge of a bed howling, and out of nowhere, a cat just jumps up and wraps his arms around its neck, and the dog just immediately stops howling when the cat reaches like wraps around its neck. And but the parent or like the mom or whatever is like filming this all happen, right? So I'm sitting, and then she's laughing after like it happens, and I'm saying to myself, that cat would have probably strangled that little dog because it looked like a little Jack Russell or Terrier or whatever, like or a little mixed with a Chihuahua, something like it was like a extremely small dog. So when the cat jumped, you could tell that the cat could have basically whooped that dog's ass if it wanted to. And I was just
Oh,
like, damn. But it was hilarious because it's like if you're not at home, that type of shit probably happens all the time. Like your cat whooping, like if you had a small dog and the cat's whooping the dog's ass, that shit's happening when you're not there. You can't stop it.
Dominant, showing it's who's boss around there, basically. When I came home, like she didn't leave me like the entire night. Like that first night I came home, she did not leave me the entire time. Like
Well, that's the
she
thing.
knew something was up and whatnot, and she was just like, "Where have you been?
That, ability.
Where have you been? You need to stay here now."
But you've had her how long before you had your incident? Like roughly how long have you guys had that cat? As far as to get familiar with you.
Oh fuck, we just figured this out. I want to say June.
Okay, so a few months,
something like that.
Okay, few months.
She's only like a couple months old as well too, so she's still young.
Okay, no, and I'm asking because obviously cats and dogs, different animals have that ability to sense when something's not right. But at the same time, you building that look like her having just at least a couple months of knowing you, so to speak. Like it's one of those things that back to kind of what I was saying, like the whole unconditional thing. Because regardless if she beefs you and hits you and shit, it's as if they're always nurturing or want to be around you in a nurturing sense, like just to comfort you when you're not right. That shit's amazing. But on the other, if you want to jump into it, like letting the people know, like we haven't been here for a week, but I'll let my man.
Yeah, that was what day was that? That was the 22nd. That was last month. Nope, that was November. Hold on. Last Wednesday. It was I was at work and I was talking with a customer and apparently just had a seizure out of nowhere. Never had one before in my life and had one at work. Fucking smoked my head off the ground and my arms all fucked up, like bruised to shit from it still. And then woke up in the hospital. Like I had no idea where I was. I thought I still was at work and everything. They're like, no, they thought at first like, oh, you just passed out at work, or whatever. That's what they thought. And then we had to call my one coworker who watched it all happen. And she was like, no, he had a fucking seizure, like the whole convulsion and whatnot and all that. So that was something. And I was in the hospital from like most of that night. That was about like 5 or 6 o'clock at night anyways. So it was still like later. But I was in critical care for a while. I was in critical care all night. What am I saying? And the whole time I was just like talking with like messaging people and talking with people and all that, like still trying to figure out what happened. But like I don't still to this day right now, I still don't know. Like I can't remember what happened from that point. And then when I was at the hospital, I had a second seizure, and it was pretty rough. Because my mom was there and Amber was there, my girlfriend was there. So they saw it all happen. And they got like, obviously they got to me and fucking started helping me and whatnot. But once again, I don't remember anything about that. I don't remember any lead up to that. I just woke up the next morning. My dad was there and I was like, oh, hello.
No, basically. That's what it is,
And then the next day they were doing like neurological tests. They did a lot of CAT scans on me and whatnot, just to like try to figure out like, what's happening or whatnot. And they couldn't figure it out. They just put me on some meds and sent me home basically. And I came back this past Wednesday, I had another brain scan. Like where they put like the stuff on your, like the things on your head and whatnot. That was really interesting. It was very, very uncomfortable, but that was something.
I mean, it's different, man. It's different. It's in all reality, man. It sucks because it's like, I hope that they do find a reason, like, oh, he was, there was this that happened and this, because it would obviously bring some type of sense to it. But on the flip side, if they don't find a quote unquote reason and it was just stress or anxiety or something like that, unfortunately that caused it. Because if you expressed to me before, like, that there was no quote unquote sign, hey, my head hurts, I'm about to have a seizure type thing before it happened. So it's super unfortunate that happened to my man Trent, and I'm glad he's on the road to recovery. It's like, but it's like, no, I'm just saying, like, it sucks, but it's like, it's unfortunate that it causes, and it's at random that it can happen to any of us in that crappy fashion. Like sometimes life forces us to calm down, and if one has the I don't want to say ability, but if one can see or have that self like awareness to say, hey man, I got to change some things, or hey, I got to, that shit is amazing because it's only going to help. I feel like it's only, unfortunately, it happens, but then like the aftermath, what you're trying to do aftermath, like, that shit is hopefully going to help, hopefully prevent a second or third one from happening after, you know?
That's the hope of why I'm on this medication right now. And because of taking the medication, I can't drink anymore. So that's the biggest thing right now. So I've had to stop. So I'm done. So I can't drink, period. Like at all.
No, and that's a good
So
thing
that's
in my
what I mean.
opinion,
Like
bro.
it's a radical lifestyle shift,
Yeah.
but like if that's what it takes, that's what it takes for the time being. But like at the same time, they may not know, because from what I've heard about all this, they fucking don't know half the time when it comes to this shit. Like sometimes it just happens, and that's just happens,
Because it's like
and they can't figure
your
it
brain's a
out.
powerful thing, right? Your brain is such a,
Crazy.
you know how many, it's like there's so many different like things that are linking other things. Like it's hard to pinpoint. That's why when they say if one has like a, unfortunately, like a an aneurysm, if one has an aneurysm in their brain, it's almost unfortunate, but it's almost like 100% that the person unfortunately is going to pass, because you can't, like, it's hard to pinpoint and stop where the situation is corrupted, and then it's like your
It
brain is
literally
so,
comes out of nowhere.
and you're, yeah, exactly, and that randomness is what kind of makes it scary, because it's like you have to try to prevent yourself from stressing, prevent yourself from having an anxious attack, prevent yourself from getting, like, I don't know if it's like be just that over, like having your brain, if it was an engine, trying to put that correlation in there, like having your engine overheat and then your car just literally just damn near blows up or just ceases to work. That's a fucking scary seizure. Like that's what that is. Your brain literally stops functioning for a certain amount of time.
It
Like that
was
shit is scary, bro.
It was
Like,
like I said, I woke up in
yeah,
the hospital. I didn't like the only thing untowards on that day was I had a couple of panic attacks. Like I had a couple anxiety attacks, but I was just like, I just chalked that up to just, oh, anxious day, whatever. Like had them
like, but
before, had them again, sort of thing.
so just on some detective work. So you're saying on that day, or you're saying like a few days
On
before
that
you had,
day,
on that same day you had some anxiety?
like that morning, when I was here, I had one, and then when I was at work, I had another one. And that was the only thing that was untowards that day. The only thing that was like off or like
Yeah,
just
no, bro,
not like right.
that's
But at the same time, like I just chalk it up to like it happens. Like I've had anxiety attacks before. I've had days where I've had
but
like
bro,
a lot of
those are,
anxiety attacks.
but I don't think those are random, bro. I don't think anxiety attacks are random, because like that's, it's like your brain's setting off like a pre-trigger, not even saying to a seizure, but I'm saying like it's alerting you about something's not right, so to speak. In the same context of because for example, I told my sister, like my sister's a registered nurse and this, that, and the third, and like, so I was telling her that like these weirder sensations in the sides of my head or like in the front of my head or whatever, like not pain, but like you can tell they're kind of sensations. And I'm saying to
Mm-hmm.
myself, I don't know if I'm just tripping. I don't know if it's like my actual like skin like twitching, or if it's the actual brain itself that's making these sense. It's the brain that's obviously causing one to feel that, but I'm saying I don't know if it's actually my brain or if it's just my face fucking twitching. But then it's like it happens more and more. And I'm saying to myself, yo, if I get any type of wild shit happens where I fuck around, have a seizure, or I fuck around, have some type of brain something, understand that, because like this is like, let's say a couple weeks ago, and I was telling it to her, I'm like, understand that I'm write down this date, XYZ, because it's like I feel like it's like your brain giving you a warning. Hey, bro, just whatever you're doing, just relax a little bit, or whatever you're doing, try to alter it a bit, because it's like it's telling you I'm not feeling right. Like at least in my case, when I'm feeling those sensations, because I've never felt them before. 29 years old. I'm not expecting to feel no weird. And I'm not like, it's not about drinking or doing hard drugs or da 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 da. I'm saying like I'm not
That's
even on that type of,
exactly it too. It's the
not even
same
on
thing. They
that shit.
asked me the same fucking thing, and I was like, no,
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
drink a
Like I'm
bit,
not,
but it's not like
yeah, I'm not out here doing hard drugs in the context of something that's immediately going to shock my brain. Like if you did cocaine and immediately hit your brain, I'm not out here doing no wild shit like that. So it's like when you start to feel weird sensations or anxiety attacks or things like that, we can't, like, not saying you specifically, but I'm saying like all of us, we can't just say like, oh, fuck that, it ain't nothing, because your body's clearly trying to say, hey man, I don't feel okay right now. Or hey man, this is stressing me. And you and me both know the stresses of our futures, like, oh shit, man, I wonder what's gonna happen, or if I'm gonna, all that type of goofy shit can sometimes get to us. And I hate it, because it's like they say there's like I think you may have expressed it, or somebody else may have expressed it to me recently, where it was like a Chinese proverb or something, where it was like, or somebody said it like the in the past is where you find like discomfort, in the future is where you find anxiety, in the present is where you find peace, type shit. Like it was some type of saying, like I didn't say it verbatim, but it's something like that, where it's like, in the past you find anxiety, in the future you find discomfort, in the present is where you find your peace. And like I thought about it, like that's some deep shit, because you go back in your past and you're like, fuck man, I could have changed this, I could have changed. And then you go to your future and you're like, oh, I got to do this to make it here, and I don't know if I'm good enough. And then you stay in your present and you're like, let me take this day by day, da 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 da. Like let me actually allow the process to happen. You're just like, fuck, that shit makes sense. Then a motherfucker. But and again, to the people listening, you might be able to find the real quote, but it's definitely like that was like the guys of the quote, like that was like the frame. And I was just, us as young men, we know better than anyone. Like we fuck around and super stress ourselves, or because we feel like I will not feel like we do have so much on our shoulders, right? Like, and we're saying to ourselves, we got to create a fucking future. We got to hopefully create some type of generational situation for people who are coming after us. You're with a young lady, you might feel like, hey, one day me and her might want to have kids. So it's like I'm just saying hypothetically, not you. Not, well, hey, okay, forgive me, not Trent, but to the young men out here who might be with a woman who feel like they want to have kids later on, cool. They might feel like, they're just trying to create something, and we sometimes stress too hard over that shit, because the present's where we should be focused,
Exactly. Like you got to take this one day at a time, and that's all there is to it. Like especially right now with doing this, I got to take it 2 pills once, like both times a day. So I got to make sure I do that. And I'm trying, and also at the same time, I can't just be like laying around and like resting and relaxing the entire time. I need to be out there still doing shit. You know what I mean? Like I still got to be living my life. I still got to be like moving around and going to get groceries and going fucking, doing things. Like I can't just be like just sitting around. Like that's it. Like you got to find, there's got to be a good balance between those two. Otherwise you're going to get like, it's not going to help yourself just sitting around all the time either. I don't find anyways. But I also just want to shout out to like everybody who is like gave any like kind of like any like support towards this whole situation, because a lot of people reached out to me during this time, and it was really, really overwhelming to see just like how many people like actually gave a fuck sort of thing. Like, so just shout out to them, and also like to my coworkers and to the people who were there actually, because they the one guy I was actually helping was, I think he had some form to do with like the medical, so he didn't like, oh what the fuck, some guys are freaking, like he didn't freak out, he kind of like knew what to do. And then there was an older couple there who also helped out as well too. They they're trying to help out as best they can. They told the paramedic that I was diabetic. I'm not diabetic, but they did just because I didn't respond, because I was fucking season and whatnot. But yeah, so it's just really cool to see like in times like that, like some people like the people that come out of the woodworks to help for like in that situation, like
the people who are there,
there in that situation, like at that time, like those people, like
no, they're the real MVPs. They're the real MVPs.
And then everyone, and then the ripple effect afterwards. Yes, of course, but like the support and all that too. But like, yeah, and obviously shout out to my mom especially, and my family and my girlfriend Amber. Like, fuck, put them through a lot of shit the last week and a half. So like,
but yo, at the same time, Trent,
fucking worst birthday I've ever had. I'll say that. I'll tell you that for not.
Hey, bro, and that's buzzkill as fuck, because it's like you're turning 29 and you go through this. But it's at the same time, bro, like you can't
still here though.
Exactly. But you can't put that stress saying like you put your mom and your girlfriend through a lot, bro. Like these things happen at random. Them being able to step up and support you and be strong is amazing. But don't say that you put it as if like it's some type of blame on you. That shit happens to all of us, bro. Remember I was telling you, like when we were talking, I was 13, my buddy seized up and we couldn't do shit. His mom had to just try to drag him get him outside so the ambulance can like not drag him, but like because they were kind of already walking outside. But my man more or less collapsed on the front grass, and she called the cops there. And at least as fucked up as it is, they were outside. It was a sunny day, so it wasn't raining, but they got to him quicker than when he because he was fine, and then they were going somewhere, and then he fucking started seizing up when they were en route to the car, and she didn't know what to do. She just called. But I say all that to say, it's not his fault. It's not your fault. Unfortunately, these things happen at random. So just try not to put a blame on you. Like, fuck, man, I'm putting all these people through shit. Nah, bro. Like, unfortunately, these things happen, right? It's amazing when we have support systems. Like the people you're shouting out to. That's the amazing part about it, that we have support systems.
It's
like
truly like humbling and overwhelming to even just think about and like put into words and all that right now. Just like it's just crazy. Like and yeah, like it's just actually
it's
crazy.
Grateful,
like
man.
people who
I'd be
like
grateful out here. Yeah,
people who I didn't even like. Oh, you actually still give a fuck? Like, cool. Thanks. I appreciate you like even just asking how I am and whatnot. And everyone at my fucking work's been like unbelievably cool about this. Like, dude, are you good? Like, what happened? Like, blah, 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 like all that and whatnot. Like,
but they should
been
be,
really
bro.
Good.
Decency, bro. These types of situations bring out a lot of decency in people, bro, in a real way. And it's not
really
about,
does.
It's not about even being on no negative shit. It's just like people can show their true colors when situations like this happen. If you're actually a decent person and hey, Trent, look, man, yeah, I mean, I know we don't talk much, but I appreciate you, man. Da, 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 da. And then like, as far as like people actually coming out the woodwork and then you think to yourself like, well, hey, I know these people might not show it every day. I know these people might not show the support every day, but at least these motherfuckers are still out here with some positive thoughts towards me. You know what I mean?
That
like,
was exactly it. Like you just like literally verbatim almost described like conversations I've had with people in the last like week and a half. I love it.
That's what it is,
That's
bro.
Crazy.
We get grown, life forces us to like get busy, and we have families and things like that. So, but then because Facebook, like you don't even talk to your friend. Like there's people I haven't talked to in like 8-9 years. My aunt passes away, unfortunately. They hit me up, yo, da 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 da, and I'm saying to myself, I'm glad y'all still care, but we got to make sure we're showing this support throughout, because if you can post two cats fighting and shit, you can post, hey, what's up, Graham, or hey, what's up, Trent? You know what I mean? Like in a real way. I've had people reach out just to say, hey, I don't want nothing from you or nothing. I just want you to let me know you're good. I said, oh shit. Those types of little things are amazing, because it's like our support systems are amazing is what I'm saying. And it's unfortunate that you had to even go through that, bro. It's seriously super unfortunate you had to even go through that. But it's like, as you were saying, unfortunately, as it's causing you to change your lifestyle, these things happen for reasons, in my opinion. So let's just say you change your lifestyle, all of a sudden, next to you know, you're tripping, you're on a different path. You're not even thinking about certain things, whether like that you were once thinking about, whether it's a dark thing or whatever the case is. Now you're aiming more towards the positive things. I'm just saying, no matter what the reason of this was, you will know what's in the next coming months. Like, oh shit, this is why that happened. Da 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 da. Like, and even if it's not explained, I believe it will be, because motherfuckers is walking on a higher frequency, straight up. Whether it's being in tune with your, like a person like me and you who met out of happenstance, serendipitous and all that shit, to building a 10, 11-year bond, to like, it's just, there's so many different connecting parts where it's like, okay, I don't think this happened for no reason. Maybe life was trying to force me to calm down. Bro, a buddy of mine, unfortunately, was doing some wild shit. Came out to Toronto fairly recently. Unfortunately, got beat up, da 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 da. He survived. Everything's okay as far as like, you know what I mean? Like it was more like a little more of a roughing up and robbing versus, you know what I mean? But I'm only expressing it, and I'm only expressing it in the sense of my man had to switch up how he moves and things of that nature. Within that few weeks, my man's on a totally different trajectory, and not about saying like, oh, he ain't no thug or nothing. It's about saying, okay, I'm moving different. I'm just moving different in life now, you know?
There's like situations like that happen, and like I said, it's at random, and sometimes you can prevent them, but sometimes like they just come out of nowhere and it just fucking happens, and you do have to change up how you move, especially like situations like this, situations like that. Like it's pretty crazy, but yeah. I'm just still glad to be here, man. Like that's about
Ah,
it. Like
hey,
I'm just
we're
glad to
glad you
not
are
have to be like
here.
still in the hospital, hooked up on a machine or anything like that. Cause that fucking sucks. Like I fucking hated that. That was awful. That is not a fun time. Like, especially now during COVID times, but like, fuck, it's not fun anytime.
And to think, Trent, we have it relative, but we have it so good, right? Where it's like that's not our norm. Unfortunately, in the most unfortunate ways, that situation happened to you, and especially on your birthday in that regard, which is why I'm saying in the
It
sense
was
of the whole.
a couple days before my birthday, but still.
But yeah, no, I mean, go leading up to your birthday. It's unfortunate, like, but that's why it's strange as it is, but that's why like a part of it, like, kind of makes me think like, yo, it's like that serendipitous, it's not a coincidence type shit. Like it was supposed to happen, fucked up as it might sound. These
No,
scary
who
things,
knows?
these scary, bro.
That seems like the most logical, like putting two and two together like that. Yeah, it makes sense.
Like as fucked up as it is, it's like you don't ever want these things to happen, but it's like if it causes you to change your trajectory and not fuck around and do certain things you were once doing, but it's although the circumstance happened, it's also the choice. Like I'm choosing to change. Like versus after this all blows over, I can go back to my old ways and do X, Y, and Z, or I could change the fuck out myself because I want to, and then that's like it just have the life flow beautiful from there on or whatever, right? But it's scary. It's scary because it's like it's just the when the you expressing like with a little bit of new information that unfortunately you felt a couple panic attacks that could have meant some bullshit could have been happening later on. Like it's just that's the only scary part about it. Because for example, you've been back in the sense of when I was like blazing it down, smoking the shit out the weed, out, aka just smoking all day and shit. How you knew you were gonna green out was like you started to kind of feel those weird sensations within your body and like, yo, bro, I don't feel right. I'm about to throw up or something. And then you don't even, bro, I've as crazy as it is, like you know how it is. You know how
Thin
it
out
goes.
for me. That's how it always ends
Your
up
brain
for me. I
starts
feel
your
the
brain
same
starts
thing.
doing a spin out. Your brain starts
Like the
spinning.
whole
Okay.
fucking room starts doing a big boom, boom, boom. Even when I'm like drinking anything like that, that's when I know it's oh shit, some
A
bullshit's gonna
pass out.
happen here.
Yeah, a pass out could happen type shit. That's see, but that's what I'm trying to express, bro. It's like we don't know because these things are random. But for the ones where we kind of feel them coming on, because some people who unfortunately have like the bro, I'm fucking up words today. I can't get it out. But the people with
Dude,
epilepsy, people with
so
epilepsy, for example.
that's the biggest thing I've found after this whole fucking thing is like trying to formulate words and stuff like that, like trying to get my thoughts in order to like formulate like cogent, like coherent thoughts and like sentences
Sentences. Oh
is
my
the
goodness.
fucking hardest thing. Like it wasn't that difficult before. Now it's like fucking a struggle. Like these last just trying to get my like cognitive functions back on order again. It's just like, man,
I
like
know it's a
I went
yeah.
back. I'm back at work trying to talk to people. I'm just like, I'm like, what the
Yeah,
fuck? Like, get it
you gotta
together.
just stop. Yeah, you gotta just stop, take a breath, and then try to start again. Like that shit is tricky, bro. That shit is tricky right there. But that's what but it's like your brain hits a reset, Trent. In a context, like in a certain context, when you have a seizure, your brain hits a reset in a sense. So it's like when you come back to, yes, you might still have all the factory settings, but at the same time, it's like some of the other shit that you might have acquired along the way, like you just kind of correlating it to a computer, like some of the other shit you might have downloaded along the way might not be there, unfortunately. You not being able to remember, let's just say 7 hours of life kind of thing, right? That's
Yeah,
just
exactly.
but
Like,
it's just one of those things. I'm thinking like whether or not things are whether or not things are predicting like are predictable or whatever, like, oh, I feel it coming or not, like we all just got to trip out and try our best not to stress and not to, you know what I mean, like overthink whether it's the future or the past, just in using that little quote that I was thinking about, just because we're gonna fuck around
even the
and hurt
present, man.
ourselves.
Like the
Yeah,
present can be stressful as fuck too for a lot of
yes,
people. Like
yes.
I know it is for a lot of different people right now, just because of what's going on out there and like just different bullshit. But like, yeah, the present can be just as stressful as the past and the the future to a lot of people. So it's it's just a matter of just trying to take it one thing at a time, one thing at a time, basically. That's it. Like, you can't overwhelm yourself with everything else.
No, you're right. But sometimes I feel like that's the beauty of it, man. Like, understanding we can't always find coping mechanisms. Sometimes we have to go through what we go through. Sometimes we have to actually experience, whether it's the trauma or the heartache or the whatever. Granted, it's not a matter of like, granted, it's not like somebody else is doing, meaning like it's not somebody who quote unquote is stronger than you trying to hurt you or whatever. I'm talking about like, you might have to actually, like, you might get into a car accident, hope God willing you survive, and you don't fuck around and like, okay, now I got a broken leg. I gotta be in the hospital for 6 months. I gotta go through this. And it's just like, and we can't necessarily cope because it's like, fuck, man, I gotta deal with it. So as you experience like your recent trauma, so to speak, it's like,
you just gotta deal fucking with it.
and it's not even about trying to be like, say it in a harsh way, like, yo, it's because again, we have great support systems. At the very least, we have support, people who love us and people who actually are trying to support us. You know what I mean? And I know not everybody has that.
We live in Canada with fucking a sort of decent healthcare system that it's not
exactly
like killing me
financially.
Yeah,
like responders can get to you fairly quick. You can get to a hospital bed relatively quick, XYZ, right?
Exactly. So anyway, there's a lot of things to be thankful for in the midst of all this fucking chaos. Like, it's just, yeah, like I said, just more thankful to be here and not like completely fucked up and not like,
Yeah, no, like, because God, bro, looking at it from a standpoint of like, you being able to come, like, have a seizure, unfortunately, and come out of it versus the latter. Sorry, forgive me, 2 seizures versus the latter of, unfortunately, you're still there. Or some people are when they have their seizure, unfortunately, they go into a coma after that, bro. You know what I mean?
That's the other thing,
like, you know what I mean? And so for you to actually, I know you're having the fact that I get it, you're having trouble creating senses and stuff, but you're, like you said, and I'm glad I'm glad you're grateful, just like I'm grateful for you, bro. Because I'm like, yo, my dog's okay. He's moving forward, and you know what I mean, like, because bro, we need it, bro. We can't be out here having our people die young and all that other stuff, bro. And I know it's random, so we can't control it. But I'm like, fuck, man. I'm glad that you reached out to me in a message and said, hey, it's Trent, da 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 da. Because I was like, yo, we can't be dealing with this type of pressure, bro. Like, this type of nonsense and any type of heartache and pain right now, bro. We've been through enough of that, you know?
Yeah, I agree. Fuck, I agree.
Super happy that you're okay, man, so to speak. And as far as moving forward, like, I know you're taking it day as it comes, each day as it comes, but again,
at this point, man, like, fuck. Man.
Glad you're here, you know?
I can plan for what I'm going to do tomorrow, but at the same time, I have to take it by today, see how today plays it out, because if today fucks up, tomorrow doesn't happen. So that's just how it goes.
Big fact. You hear that, people? If today fucks up, tomorrow doesn't happen. So let's try our best to make sure today don't fuck up.
Like, pretty much. Cover your bases.
Yo,
drink a lot of water. I don't know what else to tell you. I drink a lot of water as it is, but keep drinking water.
Yeah, we out here, bro. Now my boy's probably taking all types of vitamins and shit now just to try to.
I was taking vitamins, man. I was doing all this shit beforehand, and now it's just like I have to just take fucking these fucking things on top of it.
Yeah, no, it's in addition to it's in addition to your tablet intake, but you know, if it prevents and causes your brain to allow itself to readjust it and function properly, and you don't have to worry about no seizures no more. Hey, we got to do it, right? We got to do it.
Exactly. I'll do it if that's what it takes. But I just hope it isn't my entire life. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't think it will be, but I don't really enjoy it as it is right now. So, but once again, one day at a time.
Yes. And we got to focus on the positives, bro. You here, you moving forward. We taking our time as far as getting things back to the way it was, as far as like, because I know your sentences and different things like that, they're going to come real soon. It's just got to take your time, bro, and get back.
Honestly, for me, it's just trying to get like physicality back again, because I lost quite a bit of weight being in the hospital there, and it's just like it's just trying to like be like I just want to try and be healthy, like physically again, like try and get back to where we used to be with that. before I started drinking and boozing and just being whatever else again. But like, just try and be like, not like so like, I don't know if in shape is the word for it, but just like,
no, but
decent enough. I
don't
know what else to say.
no, but that's what it is though, Trent. Because fucked up as it is, like people say that bullshit ass phrase, "Oh, if you look good, you feel good." But in context, it's the truth. Like not about the look part, but about like if you're physically working out, getting those like dopamines and different things, adrenaline, different things running and flowing and shit. I promise you, your body goes through a physical change, which is literally why you see people's body go through a physical change.
Exactly.
It's like, but it alters your mindset. It alters the amount of these different types of chemicals, good chemicals that your brain creates. Like if you're having more of those produced daily versus less, like clearly it's going to help your body physically, but it's also going to help your mind. Like that's why it's so beautiful that they work hand in hand, but it can be so scary at the same time because you hurt a little part of your brain. Next thing you know, you can't use your legs and down or whatever. So it's like it's the beauty in both sides of it, right? Everything's intertwined. Everything's intertwined. But yo, again, to the people listening, yo, my boy's out here sharing his story and such, and just trying to keep you guys up to date, and we're all happy that he's here, and you know what I mean? Just make sure you giving all your love and all that, because shit, man.
Not just me, man. Like give like your loved ones the love like today. Like don't wait for some of the bad shit to happen. Like you gotta do it like when like the good times are rolling, when it's just like a off day. Just like you just gotta show them love when like you need to show them love. Like, and it's not just like about like I said, not just the bad times, it's the good times too. You gotta show people love in the good times as well too.
Hey man. Well, with that being said, Trent, hey, I appreciate you sharing because these are some intimate details. My boy don't have to share these, but he's choosing to bring awareness. You know what I mean? Choosing to bring awareness to this motherfucker.
My life's an open book at this point.
I mean, hey, we in the game. You know what I mean? To open books. We in the game. But yeah, bro, it's one of those things where I'm sure the people listening, they appreciate it too, man. It's like, yo, we out here. We just trying to bring out a reel and you know what I mean? Just keep rocking with us. You know what I mean? We going to do our best to keep good things in store for y'all, And to those listening though, my name's Graham.
I'm Trent.
And we out this bitch. Another episode of Ultra Fly Talk. Yeah. My boy Trent.